The classes thing, are you means how do you attend the class? Do you only listen or you write? Uh, is anyone practicing making notes? So
Sir, I take notes from the ERP that you have uploaded, then listen to your videos.
yes, yes. When you are attending the class, all the because now board is not there. Otherwise, whatever most of the material that is there in the ERP, otherwise same thing. I was means using projector, but since board is there, writing everything in the board, and from there you have to take it down in your note copy. But that procedure is not going to happen now. So if you are attending the class, means you have to make a some medium of keeping everything in one place. And the ERP that is there, that is okay, that is fine, but that is written in very textual language, because definition and anything, every diagram and everything, they mostly they are very means from the learning point of view, written in a language which is have to be explained to you. So some technical terms are there which maybe have to be explained by the teacher, then the student will understand. Some things, when you take the class, you practice a writing of note every day, so that it means your class that you are attending is not a 3-day workshop or 2-day workshop, that you are attending the workshop or seminar and that will be over. No judgment, your judgment will be based on your internal exam, your final exam, and then so many other evaluation process. So in the during the exam time, if you don't have that particular handwritten note of yourself, then it means you have not faced this situation before. In the previous semesters, all the notes was there, all the class note was given, but this semester classes are going on, but notes you have to do it yourself. Classes are going on every day, classes are going on, and I know 100% no one of you is in the habit of taking note when doing the class. So all of you will be in a very big problem if there is a sudden exam is declared in suppose 1 weeks. Then you will be in a problem. First problem, because you don't have class note, although you have attended classes, so you don't have class notes. Second thing is that all the subjects you have to make a class note, then you will be in a much more bigger problem. uh, so you find out how you do your this particular class management before the exam. At least you make, because last time this UGC rule and so many complications are coming up. If again a new rule comes that those who are passed in internal, they only can pass, then much more bigger deep problem. So try to at least try to score so much so that you don't fail in at least the sessional or the internal, or because of means of your of means your lack of what do I say, awareness regarding online classes. You're taking the class, it's okay, you're attending the class regularly, that is fine, but but exam is different, no? You have to study from one place, and before the exam, if everyone is busy making notes, finding the notes, doing also Google search, and when will you give time for your study? Okay, but anyways, today we are going to take a new topic, that is about what is called abstract classes and abstract methods in Java. So abstract, we already know what is abstract means. uh, Abstract drawing, we say no, abstract drawing. So abstract drawing means the drawing that have no that the drawing have no particular front representation. Everything is is hidden in the meaning of the drawing. Meaning in the drawing. Suppose there is a suppose there is a painters who is drawing only straight lines and this and that. So but people who understand drawing, they will know that something is there in the meaning of the drawing, but exactly that drawing is not using a particular representation. It is using maybe circles, it is using maybe squares, it is using maybe triangles to represent something, but it has a inner meaning. And similarly means it has no particular shape, it is only using the means it depend upon the one who looks in the drawing. For every person the meaning may be different. So that is a example of a abstract drawing where nothing, if there is no rainy suppose rain drawing, there is no waterfall drawing of a waterfall, just drawing of some squares and some rectangles and like that, and some meaning is there, but it may be different for different person to person. The meaning of the drawing can be different. So such kind of a drawing is called abstract drawing, where meaning you have to find out by looking into it by drawing. mm. So that means in Java it provides a mechanism where the meaning of the class that is used depend upon how the user or use that particular class. So abstract classes basically it contains of empty function definition. What is the function definition? Function definition, we know it's the implementation of the function, that is the implementation of the function prototype, that is called the function definition. Function definition means the implementation of the function, where we write the code of the function. And when we write the code of the function, that particular function we can able to access using the dot operator. So if there is a number of classes in a class, then using dot operator we are able to use that particular function. But abstract function is such a function which have no implementation inside. The function is blank, and the function is blank, and only the structure of the function is written. That is, what is the return type that will be written, what is the formal argument that will be written, and it is a blank function, you can say. It is, you can think the function is like it's a blank function. And in the beginning you have to write the keyword abstract, like we write the keyword public. For any data that we want to make public, we write public. If we want to make private, we write private. Similarly, if any one of the function that is there in a class, then we want to make one of the function, we want to make it abstract. Why we want to make it abstract, that we will say, but that will see. But if you want to make some function abstract, then you have to add the word abstract, abstract, abstract. Now abstract, if a function is written as a abstract, then that function implementation you cannot write. You cannot write the program for that function inside that function definition. You have means you will have to leave it blank. You must have to leave that particular abstract function blank. That is the word called abstract. uh, and hello, and any class that have a abstract function have to be written as abstract class. Any class that have a abstract function have to be written as a abstract class. So any class that has a abstract function has to be written as abstract class. So since abstract function have no function implementation, so what we mean by function implementation, that when you call the function, when you invoke the function should start the process. The function should start the process. It may return, some function may not return, but if there is a program inside the function, that program should start. That is called the function invoking. When we invoke a function, the function should start. But in the abstract function, there is no coding written inside that particular function, and in front of the function, abstract keyword have to be put. ABSTRACT, abstract. So what happens now? Now dot operator you cannot use, because when you are using a abstract function, you are making the function blank. So when you use the dot operator, it not going to function, and the system is just going to stop, because there is no code, and so it is basically it is not used you for the purpose of, it is not used for the purpose of direct accessing. Means because that is why it is abstract, because user will write the code, and the code is not predefined. The code is not predefined. Say for example, there is a set of library classes, like you have seen so many library classes. Comparable is one of the library class, iterator is one of the library class. There are many library classes. Stack is a library class, for example. Queue is a library class. Linked list is a library class that we have discussed that last class. Some of the ready-made classes are there in Java, and in those classes, if the Java system want the user to write the program, other than the program to be written already inside. For example, some of the program can be written by the system itself, like accessing memory, traversing one data to another. But some user can write, like the printing all the data, or sorting all the data, or adding all the data, like summation all the data. So something which the user can write from person to person, which can vary from person to person. Similarly, the printing and the sorting, there are so many different types of sorting algorithm. There are so many different types of searching algorithm. So what the system decide that there is a background process called linked list, that is management of the linked list is going on. And if any user want to do the sorting of all the data of a linked list, or a queue, or a stack, then what happens, the system provides a abstract function, that is there is a library implementation, there is a library coding already written to management of the linked list, but the sorting of that linked list is not written. Only the abstract function is written. That means the structure of the function is written, which you cannot change. If there is a void return type of a abstract function, you cannot make it the different. You have to use it in the same way. If there is a three number of argument given in the formal argument list, you have to use those in those three arguments. You cannot change. That is the meaning of the abstract. Now how to use this abstract method? And abstract method, if is written inside any class, suppose there is a linked list class or a stack class that have implemented all the function. function to search a value, function to a function to insert a value in position x, function to delete a value from position. Every function is written, but only the sorting is not written. For example, then sorting, because there are different algorithms of sorting, some are fast, some are slow, some are divide and conquer, some are greedy method. So system decided, let the user itself write the program, we are not going to take that tension, we are not going to take that burden. Many situation it comes that user writes that, user want the freedom. Sometimes it happens that user want the freedom. If everything the system writes for you, then you as a programmer will only do what you just do calling of the function. As a programmer, if you has a set of data, if you have a set, you should be able to manipulate that data, you should be able to sort that data, you should be able to find a maximum value in that data. Okay, but data structures, those are complicated, those require lot of memory management, and like data of a breadth first search or depth first search or tree, or there is a binary tree or b plus tree. And then in those situations, uh, you want that the system gives the function location where you have to write, but system will not write it, system will leave it blank. But only thing the system will give is the name of the function, what you should give the name of your function, and the system will write it abstract. So when you in your program will write a function using that name, so system will know that this particular function is written for this particular inbuilt library. And the data, if you create a linked list, and after creating the linked list you writing the sorting program, then immediately the linked list data you have created, that data will be sorted. But if and then there is no inbuilt function for there will be no inbuilt function for sorting. Only the data creation the function will be there, data addition, data deletion. And suppose sorting is not there, then this particular sorting will be written as an abstract function, and the name of the function will be written, and you cannot change the name of the function. Suppose you are creating a linked list, but you are changing the name of the function sorting, you are changing it to suppose my sorting example, suppose like that you give the name of the function, then it will not work. Then it will, because because the library will be looking for that particular abstract structure, so that structure you have to maintain. Now we'll come to the second part. When a function is written as a abstract, the whole class cannot be uh, used as a public dot operator. I will say again, if a class contain any of the method is written a abstract, if a class any of the method is written abstract, that means abstract means blank implementation, then this class you only can inheritance, you only can do inheritance in that class, you cannot use the dot operator in that class. I'll say again, if there is any in a class, if there is any abstract function, if there is any abstract function or any different kind of abstract, that generally it is a abstract function. If in a class, if there is any abstract function, even one of the all the classes is the abstract function, the whole class become abstract automatically. Now the property of abstract is that you cannot create a object of such a class, like you create no uh, increment my object equal to new increment, new keyword we use to create a object. This here you cannot use. If your class have a abstract, you can only do inheritance, or must only inheritance, and no other way you can use a abstract function. If there is a one abstract function in a class, then you must only can do inheritance. If you try to create a object, you will get a system error. So you will get a system error. So So now you can have to remember this, that abstract keyword is used for a function that is remain blank by the parent class. If there is a parent class that have written lot of function, out of which one will be left blank, and only the structure will be written, so it will be left blank, and it will be only inheritable, only you can do inheritance must. So any class which you want to make compulsory for inheritance, such class you can write abstract, and such class you can write one of the abstract function. So abstract means that only inheritance is only possible, so direct access is not possible, only inheritance is possible. So when inheritance is possible, the rest of the function will be coming to the subclass, but this particular one of the function or two of the function or three, whichever number function is abstract, that will also be come in the in your child class, but the program you have to write yourself. So the parent class return a function that is blank, that is why it is abstract keyword will be attached. So when there is a abstract keyword, even if you write something, you will get error. So if there is a abstract keyword in your program, suppose you are the parent class, you are written a parent program, and you are written a abstract function, and you try to write a program inside the abstract function, you will get a error, parent class. Now if there is a child class, now when you are written a abstract function, first thing you have to keep it blank, that particular function definition have to be blank. You can give the argument list to integer x, integer y, you can give a return type void or integer or float, and you have to write in front abstract, and then you have to keep it blank. That is the first thing. Second thing, if a function is written as a abstract, whole class become abstract. Now you are written a parent class, that is a abstract. If there is any child class, that child class now only can do inheritance of the parent class you have written. That child class now can do only inheritance of the parent class that you have written. Now when inheritance is happening, all the member function that you have written will be given in the child class, will be given to the subclass. But the blank, the abstract function you written blank, that function you are not able to write it. When you write a abstract function, compiler will give you the error that you cannot write. So who can write? The child class can write, the subclass can write. Now the Java will identify that this particular is a means inheritance has happened or not for the abstract class, because you are the developer of the parent class, so you are not doing the inheritance. So Java compiler gave you the error. Now first thing, you have to give the class blank. Second thing, you have to write the keyword abstract in front of you have to give the function blank, and second thing, you have to write abstract keyword. Thirdly, whole class become abstract. Fourthly, someone who inherit your class, that person can write the code for the abstract function, not the developer of the abstract function. So these are some of the rules to remember when you're using a abstract function. So next topic, anything to ask here? Abstract, it is the abstract function. It is the abstract function. Let us see one example also. So here what we see, there is a here we see there is a abstract class. I'll omit this. There is a so here you see there is a abstract class. Now what is the meaning of abstract class? That means one function is abstract inside it. Now you see this void, this sleep function is normal, regular, so something is written inside. Animal sound is abstract, so no definition, no body in the function. Now animal only in extend is possible. Suppose this there is a class pig, that is extend animal. Now inside this animal class there are two functions, one is animal sound and one is sleep. So both these function come inside the pig class, because pig is extending animal. So animal is the parent class. Now parent class contain a abstract function, animal sound. The now which is the child class here? Pig is the child class, because it is extending animal sound. Sorry, it is extending the animal class. Now this animal sound that come from the parent class to the child class, here you can write a program. Here you can write a program. So here you are writing a program, and so that is why the child only can write a program. If you attempt to write program in this section, if you attempt to write a program here, get a error. And so this is the main class. Now pig class creating an object with the new keyword, this pig class. This animal class you cannot create a object. This animal class cannot use the there is no constructor actually, if I want to say, because there is no constructor here, you cannot create object this class. There is no constructor created by default, so here there is no constructor. In the pig class also you see there is no constructor. In the pig class there is no constructor, but because it is not abstract, so Java by default add a constructor inside. So that's why you are using the new keyword. You can use the new keyword. But if a class is written abstract, so constructor is not add here by the Java system, so you cannot use new keyword for abstract class. A new keyword is not there. So if you try to create new, you get error. You try to get new keyword for animal, you will get the error. Otherwise you can create for child class. So this is the child class. This child class extend animal. So this animal have two function, animal sound and sleep. Both the function is inherited by the pig class. And here this is a abstract function, but abstract function can be written inside the child class. So it is written, some program is written here, some program is written here. So now it is not abstract. In the parent class this is abstract, in the child class it is not abstract. It is up to you, you can write or you don't want to write, or you want to write or you don't want to write, it is up to you. But in the parent class, if it is abstract, you cannot write in the parent class. Inside the parent class you cannot write. If the parent class contain an abstract function, inside the parent class itself you cannot write that code for that particular abstract function. When you inherit it, okay, that is the first thing, you cannot write. Second thing, there is no constructor for abstract class. So what is a abstract class? Any class that contain a abstract method is a abstract class, and there is no constructor for the abstract class. And since there is no constructor, new keyword cannot use, new keyword you cannot use. So inheritance is only possible. So when inheritance allowed by the system, when inheritance will be allowed by the Java system, then the abstract keyword will be removed inside the child class. So now if you are writing here a implementation, no error will be given. because the abstract keyword is removed. Why the abstract keyword is removed? Because this class is not abstract. This class is not abstract, it is a regular class. So this abstract, so if you want to make it abstract, you have to manually write the keyword abstract. But if already some abstract function is there in the parent class which you inherit, so abstract function, if it is there in any class, that class become abstract automatically. So you have to make the class abstract, that, and when it is a abstract, you cannot write here new keyword, constructor is not there. So if any function contain the abstract keyword, you cannot write a code here, it will give compiler error. If you write a program here inside the animal sound, if you write the implementation, you will get the compiler error. And secondly, when you inherit this particular animal class, then the abstract function will be removed, and it becomes a regular function in the child class. So inside the child class, animal sound program can be written after inheritance. This animal sound function will be inherited by the child class. So when it inherited, the abstraction will be removed. This abstraction will be removed inside the child class. So here it is allowed to be written some program. And since it is a regular class, so constructor is there, default constructor. We have not written it manually, but here system will add itself. So new keyword we can use. So using a object, and both the function now dot operator you are allowed to use. So this is what I mean dot operator, the direct access. So this dot operator is for the subclass only, for the child class. This pig is the subclass, pig, and the animal is the parent class. So here it is not allowed to use the new keyword, and since you are not allowed to use new keyword, you also cannot use dot operator. So dot operator can be used in those class where constructor is available. So when constructor is available, then only object creation is possible. When object creation is possible, then dot operator you can use. So since abstract class have no constructor, a dot operator you cannot use, and also new keyword you cannot attach to the name of the class animal, because it is a abstract. Abstract class is a class that contain abstract function. Abstract functions are blank function definition and preceded by the keyword abstract. Abstract function can only be inherited and can be implemented only in the child class. Abstract function can only be implemented in the child class. So this is a example of a abstract function. So next we will see next topic, Java interface. Now what is a Java interface? Now Java interface is a keyword. If you can see here, like class is a keyword, like class is a keyword. Now interface is a keyword. You have heard this word from me every time. Interface, what is this interface, and class and structure, this is a derived data type or user defined data type. So this is what we will see today. What is this interface? So interface is a collection of abstract functions. So when you have a abstract class, then at least one function have to be abstract, the remaining may not be abstract. Like here you see this is a one function is abstract, one function is normal regular function. So we can tell that this class is abstract. And what is the interface? Interface is a collection of only abstract function. Every function is a abstract. when we write the keyword interface, in front of the object or in front of the data type, like here we write the keyword interface, then immediately whatever we write inside, immediately the Java make it abstract. So by default, okay, default all are abstract. Now here we are not writing the abstract keyword because we are writing outside interface. So if you write interface outside, then by default every function become interface. No, by default every function become abstract. So when every function become abstract, then what happen, this concept is called interface. So interface is basically, you can say, it is a class, or it is a, you can say it is a not class. Interface is a collection of abstract function. What is a abstract class? Abstract class is a container with at least one abstract function. You can tell definition if it comes in exam. What is the abstract class? Abstract class is a class that contain at least one abstract function. And what is the interface? Interface is a collection of only and only abstract function. There is no regular function you cannot write inside the interface. So when you write interface in front of any name of the data type, if you write a interface, then default all function become abstract, and inside no need to write the abstract. That is the first point. That is the first thing. Interface, if it is a interface, then by default all function inside become abstract, have to be make abstract. You cannot write program inside. You cannot write a program here. They both have to make it blank, because here you are not writing the abstract keyword, but it is indicated abstract because outside it is written interface. So Java understand that every function now is a abstract, so you have to make it interface. Interface is a collection of abstract function, and that is the first thing. Second thing, interface, since it is a abstract function, you cannot create direct new keyword for interface. You cannot create a directly new keyword for the interface, cannot create new animal. Like you cannot write animal is the here name of the interface, so we cannot write animal a is equal to new animal, because it is a interface. First thing, interface. What is a interface? A collection of abstract function. Since it is a collection of abstract function, so we know that if a function contain, if a class contain abstract, that constructor is not there in the class. Also interface means it is a collection of abstract, so how can a interface constructor be given there? So here also there is no constructor, so new keyword cannot use for interface. Second thing, like abstract class only inheritance is possible, interface also only inheritance is possible. And secondly, and third, that is the second point, that interface, if it is there, then only inheritance of the functions or this is possible. And the third point, the child class can write the program. Here inside the interface, if we try to write a program, it will be error. Compiler will give a error because interface is a collection of abstract function. What is a abstract function? It is a blank function, and you cannot write a program. Program can be written inside the abstract function only after inheritance by the class who is doing the inheritance, not by the developer of the abstract interface or the abstract function or abstract class. If I am developing a program where I am writing an abstract function, I cannot write the program inside it. If someone else is doing inheritance, then that person can write in his program, he can write, not in my program, but in his program he can write after doing inheritance. So abstract function becomes non-abstract for the subclass. Similarly, interface, since all the functions are abstract, so when I am writing a interface, I cannot give the code for all the function, not even a one function, because it is a interface. So all function have to be given blank. And second point, it only have to be inheritance. Direct object creation is not possible for interface. So if one is interested in using the interface, only inheritance is possible. So someone is doing inheritance. Third thing, all the function have to be implemented. You cannot leave any blank. Means you cannot leave, you can leave blank if you are not interested to write a program. You can leave the function body blank, but you have to mention that this function you are writing is a blank. Means suppose there is a two function here, animal, sound and run. Suppose mosquito, so mosquito run is suppose not possible. So what you do when you doing the inheritance, so you have to write everything, public void run curly bracket blank. But you cannot see, so you think that mosquito is not running, I will not implement. No, that is not possible. If it is a interface, if it is a interface, then all the function you have to write the function definition. Prototype, prototype is given here, but the implementation you have to write. If you are not doing the implement, suppose mosquito, you know how are you only know that animal sound of the mosquito, but you are not sure whether mosquito run or not. So what will do, you have to give it blank, but you have to write public void run bracket, then curly braces empty inside curly braces, no coding. But you have to mention that means you are taking interest in the run function. You cannot give means you cannot give blank. If you do it, then any one of the function also, if you are you can leave blank, but any one of the function also, if you are not showing any interest, then whole Java compiler will give error. So if there is a two inside interface, that is only for interface, that is means for interface all the function you have to show interest. So interest means you have to show your means your necessity. If you are not feeling like you are not sure about whether to write a program for that function after doing the interface, then after when you inherit it, so interface means a collection of abstract function, it is a blank, and only inheritance is possible. So when you inherit it, you have to show interest in all the functions whatever you are inheriting. If you are not sure, like mosquito, whether running is possible or not, what to write there inside, whether to write print, what to क्या करेगा, then you have to write public void run bracket empty, then curly braces, like when you write the curly braces, so blank, you cannot leave empty for interface. One of the no function you can leave empty. So that is about interface. So today we are discussed about abstract function and interface. We'll do programs later.